In today's video, we are going to do the fourth project in the Bargain Bead Box for November. These are some of the beads and a few of my own from the Bargain Bead Box. And I am also going to show you how to use the one-step looper for this particular project. So let's go ahead and get started, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I'm not much of a gadget person, but I ordered a one-step looper. This is a Beadsmith, and it's a big looper, so it makes a 3mm loop, which is pretty good size. You can see here that that's a pretty good size loop. Now, the issue I was having is that if you use a regular head pin and you just want to loop the other side, it's a lot bigger loop. So I know there are smaller ones, and I'll probably get one of those too. But I ordered the big looper because I thought it would be better to go around components and stuff. And it's working fine. I'm just going to make a bunch of loops, and I'm going to kind of connect things together. And I'll show you, this is just a one end. I put the bead. The problem is it kind of moves around a little bit because the big looper makes some space through here. But that's okay. What I decided to do, instead of destroying a bunch of already made head pins, because one side would be little and the other side would be bigger, I cut some 20 gauge wire. This is artistic wire, and it is brass, I believe. And yeah, tarnish resistant brass. So I've cut 2 inches on each one. This is what the looper looks like. Now, there's a couple of ways to use this. When you want to just make one end, and I'm going to put this in, get you close so you can see it. You want to do your first end. You just want to place it, my wire is curved. You want to place it underneath this little peg here, and see if I can get my hands coordinated. Hold on to the handle, place it underneath this little peg, and just a little bit beyond this slanted portion here. And that way you can ensure you get a full loop. And then just squeeze. And then straighten it out by moving your wire kind of back towards this side. And then you get a nice loop, just like this. And then I can put on, since I'm making these big ones, I'm using a couple of the brass spacers on either side because these holes are so big that it just slides around on my wire. This would have been better with leather or something, but I'm not doing leather, so let's put on a spacer bead and one of the big beads and a spacer bead. And now I'm going to hold this end tight and get you a little closer. I'm going to grab my looper. They're so spread apart, my hands are not quite big enough. And I'm going to push this all the way through. There's a little hole in the back too, so if they're really long, you can stick it in that hole. I'm going to just push this all the way through and through that hole, and make sure it's anchored on top of my spacer bead and squish. And then straighten it out a little bit. Now, you see what happens sometimes is, and that maybe just because my wire wasn't quite long enough, or I moved it, but sometimes you don't get a full loop. And it also has a lot to do with the beads I have on here. And I can just close this. So I do have a nice loop. Now let's try it with a smaller bead. So I'm going to put this wire through just beyond that little slanted thing here, and I'm just going to do one end. It's not hard to do, guys. I'm just trying to stay in camera. It's really easy to use. And then I'm going to straighten out my wire by pulling it back towards this thing. That way it makes a nice bend on this side. Now my loop is open. I can close it. And then I can slide down. Let's use this size bead right here, this garnet bead. maybe there will be less movement because the hole is a little smaller. And then I'm going to grab my looper and I'm going to place it through and through the hole here. So just straight underneath that little silver peg. And then, I'm trying to stay in camera. And then just grab it and squeeze. Take it off and I have a nice loop. And all I have to do is close it a little bit. Now, I may not be using this, you know, there might be little tricks and stuff too that I don't know. Because, like I said, I'm not a gadget person. What I can do with my hands, I do with my hands. But I thought it would be really nice to not have to make a million loops with these boxes. So I'm going to order a small one too. But anyway, that's how I'm making the loops. I'm going to try it again, one more time, with one of these fluorite beads. So I am just going to make a whole bunch of loops, and then I will use some of the chain and hook things together and show you what I come up with. But again, and you can do this by hand too if you want to make the necklace I make. Again, I'm going to place it right in there, and I want just a small loop on this side, so I'm not placing it all the way through. I'm just placing it through just beyond this little guy here, this little curved piece, and then I'm squeezing, and then I move it back so that I get that nice bend in my wire, just like that. Now I can close it, and I'm going to grab a fluorite bead, and maybe I'll put 2 of them on here. See how that works if I put a combination of beads. Maybe I'll put this, see if I have enough wire. You may have to cut longer pieces too, so it makes a nice loop. I don't know. I haven't really played with it, but for maybe 5 minutes, so. Okay, so I've got these on here like this. Let's see how loose that ends up. Now I'm going to place it in, and I can't go through that. I can't go through the hole in the back because of the beads I have on, so I'm just going to squeeze. And close my loop. And I don't know why I'm getting open loops. Maybe they're supposed to be open. I don't know. But now I have a nice little double bead like this. And as I hook them onto my chain and stuff, I'll close them nice. And I'm hoping this wire will fit through that chain. That chain's pretty small. If not, I'll use something else. No, I think it will. It should fit through there fine. So I'm going to continue making some loops, and I will come back and show you. I'm just going to use maybe some jump rings or just put my loops directly onto my chain, and I'll show you what I come up with. I have to say, guys, I'm really liking the way these loops are turning out. I may just use them with jump rings and not the chain because, excuse me, voice is going to go away, because I think that the chain is kind of small and it's really bright colored. These little spacer beads are bright colored too, but I think I might go ahead and use some jump rings and hook them together. But I just want you to see how nice and professional and perfect each loop is shaped and in size and everything. It looks really good. Okay, so the other issue is I've tried it a couple of times with bead caps, and because of the way that it leaves space on either side, it just doesn't work out well. So maybe I could just take it and move the loop down a little. Let's see. There's just too much space. Yeah, there's just too much space. And if you try to put a seed bead on either side, you still have that space because whatever your last bead is, it makes space. So that is kind of disappointing, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to try it with a head pin. So I've slid my bead on here, and then I'm just going to slide this all the way through that little hole in the back. See right there, underneath the little peg, and squeeze, and take it out. Come out, come out. Oh. Oh, it's so funny when I'm not on camera. That stuff doesn't happen. It's crazy. Okay. So I've made that, and then see I have this double loop here, and then I can just open this. slide that on there, close it, and then just stick an ear wire on there, and I have a nice little earring. That was really fast and easy. So let's just put a little ear wire on this. Yep, come here. Don't do that. There. And look at that. That was the quickest earring I've ever made. Okay, so as you can see, I've established a pattern of how I'm putting these together. Since I only had 4 of these big beads, I just made sure I could get length in between by using a couple of others. And I've also used a couple big jump rings like this on either side of the bigger beads, and then a little bit smaller on the smaller ones. So that gives a little bit more texture and a little bit more interest with the different size of jump rings. So my pattern is that I have a big bead, a garnet, and 2 fluorites, and then a garnet big bead. So here I am going to go ahead and put on a garnet. So I'm going to use one of my smaller jump rings, and I'm just going to open it from side to side. So I'll just place my pliers on there like that, and I'll put it on this loop and drop this one on here and go ahead and close it. And then I will grab my bigger jump ring. It's nice, you make them all up in advance and kind of figure out what your pattern's going to be so you know what to make out of what. And then just put anything on here any way you want. So then I'm going to drop on my big bead and close it. Just make sure after you make your loops that they're all closed, because sometimes they'll be open and you'll need to close them all. And make sure you get your jump rings closed really well. And then I will use another big jump ring. Place it on, put on my garnet. And it looks like I have 1 extra bead because all I need are 2. So I'll use these 2. And then my pattern should be pretty symmetrical. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be. You can make it any way you want. It can be asymmetrical. It can be just a bunch of different colors. It can be whatever you want. But this makes a really nice, classic necklace, linked necklace. I like to get creative and make weird stuff too, but you should always have some classic pieces if you're selling, especially because people just like the classic looks. The simpler pieces that are pretty sell really well because that's what everyone wears day to day. They don't always want some big elaborate creative piece, though they're fun to make and they're artistic and you love doing it. Some of these pieces like this are the ones that actually sell. And they're the ones you'll actually wear too, if you're just making them for yourself. Because I know when I go into my jewelry box, I grab something like this to put on. I don't get my big, huge, fancy pieces usually. Okay, so I finished my pattern. Now I'm just going to put on my, I might get a couple smaller jump rings and put on my clasping. Let's see. Just for the heck of it. Dump out some of these. Yes, I'm making a mess, but that's what I do best. So I'll get a couple of these, and I'll just scoot this aside, and I'll put them away where you don't have to watch me. And I'm just going to put on my clasping. And then on this side. And I really don't know how long the length is of my necklace. It's probably about, oh, I don't know, 27 inches maybe. It's a nice long necklace. Maybe not that long, but I will measure it. But now, we get this all arranged, and I'll show you what we've got. And it is, I guess, just right on. It is 27 inches exactly. So it lays low on the chest, and it would be really pretty with like a purple sweater or whatever. But I think this turned out really pretty. I'll show you just how nice these links are. They're just really pretty, very professional looking. And that's how you use the one-step looper. I have ordered the small one too, as I decided that I did want to have the smaller one. And it is, you know, it has a few limitations. Like I said, it's a little bit looser, but I don't know if the small one would be the same, probably, because you have to have so much space between that, where you put your pin in and where your bead is. But generally, it worked really, really well. I had a few issues where it didn't actually cut the wire, it just bent it over, and I had to cut it myself. There was sometimes that my loop was open, sometimes my loop was shut, but generally, this loop is open, so I'm going to shut it. Speaking of open loops here, generally, the loops came out very consistent in shape and really nice. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And like I said, this is a one-step looper. This is a 3mm loop. I've ordered a 1.5, which will be about half the size of this one, of course. And I think it was really nice. It was fun. It made my project that would have taken me probably a couple hours just making all those loops down into about 45 minutes. So yeah, fun. Bye-bye.